Suppose I'm diagnosed with celiac disease, meaning that I have an intolerance for gluten. Should I keep eating normal bread and pastries? No, physicians would advise against it. They would refer me to a dietitian to discuss a gluten-free diet. But what if I am diagnosed with cancer? What should physicians advise me then? They can inform me about the treatment options, surgery, chemotherapy, and so on. But it is not clear what nutritional and lifestyle guidelines I should follow. Let's start with the good news. At the moment, research on the relationship between lifestyle factors, such as diet, and cancer survival is booming. And this is a good thing, because as we have just seen, there are still questions about nutrition and lifestyle for cancer survivors that we cannot answer. So, what are these questions in cancer survival research? And which aspects should we take into account when we want to study cancer survival? Obviously, the most important question we want to answer is, what is the relationship between lifestyle factors and cancer survival? That is actually a pretty difficult question to answer. Part of this is due to the different phases of survivorship. Cancer survival covers a wide range of circumstances, beginning at diagnosis, through cancer treatment, and to the end of life. Lifestyle may have different effects in each phase. For instance, the impact of physical activity on survival may be different when someone is undergoing cancer treatment compared to 5 years after they have completed their treatment. That is why researchers need to study physical activity at diagnosis, but also during and after treatment in cancer survivors. At the same time, we struggle with another question. What should we measure at the different points of time in a study? And are the things we measure relevant during all phases of cancer survivorship? It is important to determine which lifestyle factors we want to link to cancer survival. For instance, should we assess body mass index or should we determine body composition? After that, the first step in research is finding out if there is a relationship between lifestyle and survival. The next step is to determine how lifestyle factors influence survival. What are the exact biological processes that increase or decrease survival? I keep talking about cancer survival as the outcome of a study. But what do we mean with that exactly? Most often, we look at the number of deaths in the study population. This is called overall mortality, because the cause of death is unknown. But cancer recurrence, cancer-specific mortality, the development of other diseases, and quality of life may be just as relevant. The choice of the type of outcome to measure may depend on the phase each cancer survivor is in. All these issues need to be taken into account. Setting up a study means taking the time to decide on all the topics that I just mentioned. But it gets even more complicated. We must not forget that cancer survivors follow different types of treatment, based on the different types and subtypes of cancer, as well as the different stages of disease they have. This makes answering the research question more difficult. In my own research, I studied the relationship between vitamin D, inflammation, and colorectal cancer survival. I have to consider the role of vitamin D in survival for persons with a specific subtype or stage of colorectal cancer. The type, dose, and duration of treatment may also influence the relationship between vitamin D and survival. And I have to consider if there is an interaction between vitamin D and treatment in relation to colorectal cancer survival. So, all these clinical factors should be characterized well, because I use this information in my data analysis. Yes, data. We cannot forget about that. That is the basis of our research. Starting this study was a challenging task, but now I'm proud to say that we have data for over 2,000 patients. Obviously, there are always issues to think about when designing a study. But for cancer survival research, some specific issues are important. The influence of lifestyle on survival depends on the phase of survivorship, the lifestyle factors, biological processes, the outcomes that are studied, and the type, stage and treatment of the disease. As you can imagine, all this variety makes it very hard to compare studies and to make recommendations that are applicable to all the different types of cancer survivors. So, it may be a while before physicians can give good nutritional advice to all cancer survivors.